snacks.
What's good, Loaded Snacks universe? It's your boy Jokes, and it's time for another edition of Wrestle Wednesday. Now, this episode is actually going to be a little bit special. You know why? It's actually Halloween. Happy Halloween, y'all.
Thanks.
Happy
Halloween, sir.
So I thought this would be the perfect time to talk about an old pay-per-view from back in the day. Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc was a WCW pay-per-view that ran from 1989 to 2000. During this time, a number of superstars and Hall of Famers have had different matches that went down when it came time for it. Just to run through a couple of those names for you. Sting, Ron Simmons, Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Goldberg, Mick Foley. And I'm sure some of those names you're pretty familiar with. Now, with all these different stars, there were some matches that were pretty interesting that happened during Halloween Havoc. Some of these type of matches you probably have never heard of before if you actually didn't grow up watching it, or unlike I wasn't quite born when it started, so I had to watch it now. But just as one match for you. Ric Flair and Sting versus the Great Muta and Terry Funk in a Thunderdome match. So the term Thunderdome to some people may sound a little bit familiar. It was inspired by Mad Max. It was a cage match with a slight difference to it. The top was actually rounded and there was an opening in the top. The idea was the top was there to keep people from actually climbing out of the cage. It was actually supposed to be electrified. Needless to say, that didn't happen. So folks were still climbing on the cage. Now, Ric Flair and Sting did win that match, which was pretty cool. Another match, Halloween Havoc 92, Jake the Snake versus Sting in a coal miner's glove match. Now, I know you're already saying, coal miner's glove match, what in the world? Very simple. Hanging above the ring was a coal miner's glove on some wire. Now, if you're familiar with coal miners, those are some very big, thick gloves that they wear when it comes time for it. The idea of the match, grab down the glove and just beat the other person with it. Essentially, whoever got the glove first was pretty much the victor because they just beat up the person with the glove. Sting did go on to win that match. And of course, he has already set foot into the Hall of Fame. He's one of those that, I don't care what type of match you put him in, you're going to watch it just because it's Sting. And the final match came from Halloween Havoc 93. Big Van Vader versus Cactus Jack in a Texas death match. I don't know if you've heard of a Texas death match before. Pretty sure you've heard of a last man standing match. It's pretty similar with a slight difference. In a normal last man standing match, you incapacitate your opponent, referee counts to 10, they lose the match. But with this one, you actually have to pin the person first before they actually do the 10 count. A little bit different, so I guess you could say it's really a 13 count. Yeah. But with this match, Big Van Vader actually went ahead and took the win from that. Now, Halloween Havoc, sadly, when WCW was bought out by WWE, they didn't keep the moniker around, so we didn't get to see what could have been of any future Halloween Havocs, but I do finally remember the backgrounds. I don't know if you remember the giant pumpkin, the skull dude, the skeleton dude that was like over top the pumpkin. It was a little creepy looking, so it kind of gave you the vibe of Halloween. It was very, very exciting to see. It lasted 10 years, and I think it's got its 10 years run out of it. But for Halloween this year, I thought that was a little bit of a good refresh to go back and touch on. So if you guys like what you see, please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe to the Loading Snacks channel. Make sure you hit the ding-a-ling bell, so as we have new content coming your way, you'll be the first to know. But until then, this is Jokes, and I'll catch you later.